Hey there, Saints. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another weekly devotional, and it's my birthday. I am 40 years old today, and it's funny because what I want to read today from C.S. Lewis, it has a lot to do with growing up, growing older, and kind of how we see ourselves moving through time through this world. It's excerpted from the Screwtape Letters, which is, again, it's a discourse between two demons, and it's kind of the other side of the fence. Screwtape is trying to explain to the younger demon how to use time against a human being, how to use time in order to ruin our lives and ruin our souls. So this is what he says. If only your patient can be kept alive, you have time itself for your ally. The long, dull, monotonous years of middle-aged prosperity or middle-aged adversity are excellent campaigning weather. You see, it is so hard for these creatures to persevere. The routine of adversity, the gradual decay of youthful loves and youthful hopes, the quiet despair hardly felt as pain, of ever overcoming the chronic temptations with which we have again and again defeated them, the drabness which we create in their lives, and the inarticulate resentment with which we teach them to respond to it, all of this provides admirable opportunities for wearing out a soul by attrition. If, on the other hand, the middle years prove prosperous, our position is even stronger. Prosperity knits a man to the world. He feels he is finding his place in it, while really it is finding its place in him. His increasing reputation, his widening circle of acquaintances, his sense of importance, the growing pressure of absorbing and agreeable work, build up in him a sense of being really at home in earth, which is just what we want. You'll notice that the young are generally more willing to die than the middle-aged and the old. Like I said, that excerpt is very relevant for me today and the stage in my life where I feel myself. I think we probably all recognize how as we move through life and as we move through time, something happens. That in our youth we have this kind of detachment, this excitement about life, the life we live, the opportunities, the things that we can do. And as we get older, we get more tied to our own lives. Not so much about the possibilities, but more about the preservation of what we've already done and what we've already given our energy and our time and our efforts to. And the demons can use this. Demons can use this in two different ways. You know, one was we as we grow older, we feel like we're really making it, we're really getting our feet under ourselves, and we're really succeeding, and that the demons can use by tying us into this world and into those successes and into those accomplishments, really getting us to focus on all that worldly kind of stuff. And the other way is we feel like we're never quite where we belong. We feel like we've kind of never made it, and we're sort of failing. And the demons can use that to instill in us this depression and kind of dismay. And in either way, what's happening is that the longer our lives go on, the more we kind of expect of them, and the less open we are to what they could be, to what God might do in us, with us, through us. In Philippians, the Apostle Paul talks to the church about not knowing whether he is going to live or die, and not really knowing whether he wants to live or die. Which one would be better? He says, you know, it would be great for you if I live because I can continue ministering with you. It would be great for me if I die because I get to go home and be with God. And that kind of looseness with which he holds his own life, that willingness to be wherever God puts him, to do whatever God wants him to do, is really the goal. Our former pastor, David Etheridge, I thought really demonstrated this well in conversations that I had with him around his cancer and around the expectation of the end of his life. The way that he just held so loosely to his time here on earth. It wasn't it wasn't a fear, it wasn't a pain, it wasn't a threat to him to die and go home and be with God, but he recognized that, while he's here, there are still good things that he could do and good times that he could experience. It was okay with him one way or the other. It was okay with Paul one way or the other. It should be okay with us one way or the other, so that we are fully open to being used by God. And the funny thing that the demons can do with time is that the longer our lives go on, the more tied to them or the more disgusted with them we get, that forces us in one direction or the other, saying, I just want this to be over, or I can't ever let this go. And that closes us off to what is happening in and through us from God's perspective. What God's Spirit is doing is perhaps squelched because we lose our openness. So, 40 years old today, I pray that I will not lose that. I pray that I'll continue to seek out whatever God has in store for me, and not to come to any premature conclusions about what it has to be. But I pray that each of us can continue to have that kind of openness. Hope you're doing well these days, saints, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.